Randy Orton's WWE career has been a roller coaster of highs and lows, but in recent years, his downward trajectory has become more evident. Once a dominant force in WWE, Orton has found himself fading into the background, struggling with injuries, booking decisions, and changing industry dynamics that have gradually pushed him out of the spotlight he once commanded. The Viper, known for his incredible in-ring psychology, methodical pacing, and lethal finishing move, seems to have lost much of his bite in the landscape of modern wrestling. A major factor in Orton's decline has been his battles with injuries. While injuries are an unfortunate reality of professional wrestling, Orton's particular history with shoulder problems, back issues, and concussions has taken a serious toll on his ability to perform consistently at the top level. WWE, known for its physically demanding schedule, has not been kind to his body over the years. His extended absences from in-ring competition have not only halted his momentum multiple times, but have also prevented him from maintaining a long-term presence in any significant storyline. Each time he appears ready for a major push, an injury sidelines him, forcing WWE to reshuffle plans and move forward without him. This inconsistency has made it difficult for Orton to establish himself as a dominant force in the ever-evolving roster. Another glaring issue in Orton's downfall has been WWE's inconsistent booking. Once a perennial main event talent, Orton has seen himself fall into mid-card feuds, sporadic appearances, and, at times, completely uninspired storylines. While Orton was once known for being part of compelling feuds that drew significant attention, recent years have seen him placed in rivalries that lack depth and direction. The days of engaging feuds against the likes of John Cena, Triple H, and The Undertaker have been replaced with programs that fail to capture the same level of investment from the audience. WWE's shifting focus towards newer stars and part-time legends has left Orton in an awkward middle ground, too established to be the fresh face of the company, but not quite legendary enough to command the aura of a special attraction like Brock Lesnar. Moreover, Orton's character has suffered from stagnation. While he has always been a master of subtle character work, his persona has remained largely unchanged for years. Fans who once found his cold, calculating nature compelling have started to see it as repetitive. The lack of evolution in his promos and character direction has made it difficult for him to stay relevant in an era where storytelling and reinvention are key factors in success. The rise of more dynamic and adaptable wrestlers, such as Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes, has made Orton's slow and methodical approach feel outdated in comparison. Orton's struggles have also been magnified by WWE's reliance on part-time talent, with high-profile names like The Rock, Goldberg, and even a returning John Cena occasionally stepping into the spotlight. The opportunities for full-time veterans like Orton have dwindled. The company's preference for spectacle-driven booking, prioritizing short-term marquee matchups over long-term storytelling, has left Orton in an uncertain position. While he was once a major part of WrestleMania main events, recent years have seen him either relegated to lower card matches or entirely left off the marquee in favor of other stars. This decline in importance on WWE's biggest stage further emphasizes his diminishing status within the company. Additionally, Orton's reported backstage attitude has occasionally worked against him. While he has matured significantly from his early years, where he was known for his reckless behavior and conflicts with management, he still maintains a reputation for being difficult to work with at times. Unlike the enthusiastic workhorses who actively push for new creative directions, Orton has often been perceived as coasting through his role, delivering solid but uninspired performances. WWE's creative team may see him as reliable, but not necessarily someone to build the company around anymore. In a company that thrives on innovation and passion, Orton's seemingly lackadaisical approach has contributed to his fading presence in major storylines. The shift in audience expectations has also played a significant role in Orton's decline. In the past, his slow, calculated style was praised as methodical and cerebral. However, with the rise of high-energy, fast-paced wrestling, influenced by independent promotions and international styles, Orton's approach has started to feel outdated. Fans now clamor for thrilling, fast-paced matches with innovative offense, while Orton's old-school approach, though still technically sound, lacks the excitement factor that modern fans crave. Even though Orton is still one of the smoothest in-ring performers, his style no longer stands out in an industry filled with athletes who consistently push the limits of what's possible in a wrestling ring. Orton's inability to form long-lasting tag teams or factions in recent years has also been a setback. While his work with RK Bro alongside Riddle brought him back into relevance for a short period, that partnership ultimately fizzled out due to injury setbacks. Unlike other wrestlers who have successfully transitioned into different roles within the company, whether it be as a tag team specialist, faction leader, or mentor figure. Orton has largely remained a lone wolf. This has limited his creative avenues, making it harder for WWE to find compelling ways to utilize him. Even when WWE has attempted to rekindle Orton's relevance with championship runs, they have lacked the impact they once had. His most recent WWE championship reigns have felt like placeholders rather than defining moments in his career. Gone are the days when Orton holding a world title felt like a game-changing event. Now, his reigns often feel like transitional periods until WWE finds a fresher, more marketable face to take over. This has further diluted his credibility as a main event star, turning him into someone who simply fills gaps rather than shapes the industry. Beyond WWE's creative struggles with Orton, his personal motivation has also come into question. Unlike wrestlers who remain vocal about their hunger for success, Orton has often spoken about his comfort in his position. While this speaks to his confidence in his legacy, it has also made fans question whether he still has the same fire that once made him such a captivating presence. Passion is a major factor in a wrestler's longevity, and if fans perceive someone as going through the motions rather than pushing themselves to new heights, interest inevitably wanes. The rise of NXT and younger talent breaking into the main roster has also left Orton at a crossroads, with WWE placing greater emphasis on developing fresh faces and creating new stars. Veterans like Orton have had to step aside to make way for the next generation. This transition has been difficult for him, as he is no longer positioned as the company's future, but rather a remnant of a previous era. While some wrestlers have successfully embraced their roles as elder statesmen, adapting to new dynamics, Orton has struggled to find his footing in this new landscape, with WrestleMania moments becoming harder to come by, compelling feuds dwindling, and injuries continuously hindering his momentum. It's difficult to ignore the fact that Orton's place in WWE is no longer as secure as it once was. While he remains a legend in the industry and one of the greatest to ever step in the ring, the reality is that his recent trajectory suggests a slow fade rather than a resurgence. Unless something drastically changes in how WWE utilizes him, or in Orton's own approach to his career, it's likely that he will continue to drift further from the main event scene and into the realm of nostalgia acts, remembered fondly but no longer shaping the industry in a meaningful way. One of the most significant reasons for Orton to retire now is his health. He has suffered multiple injuries over the years, with back issues being a major concern. A superstar's body undergoes tremendous wear and tear due to the rigorous demands of professional wrestling. Orton has taken countless bumps, endured grueling matches, and sustained injuries that require extended recovery periods. His well-documented spinal issues are a major red flag, especially considering that back problems can become chronic and severely impact his quality of life beyond wrestling. Wrestling is a physically demanding business, and pushing his body any further could lead to permanent damage that affects him long after his career is over. Another factor to consider is that Orton has already done it all. He is a multi-time world champion, a Royal Rumble winner, a WrestleMania main eventer, and has feuded with some of the greatest names in wrestling history. Few superstars have been as consistent and relevant for as long as Orton has. Continuing to wrestle at this point doesn't add much to his already legendary resume. Instead, it risks making his presence feel stale or unnecessary. He has already left an indelible mark on the business, and bowing out now would allow him to leave on a high note rather than becoming a shadow of his former self. The professional wrestling industry is ever-changing, and newer talents need room to shine. WWE has always been at its best when fresh faces rise to prominence and take over the main event scene. Orton remaining active takes up a spot that could go to someone who needs the opportunity more. While veterans provide valuable experience and star power, there comes a point where their continued presence can hold back the next generation. The likes of Austin Theory, Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, and other rising stars need space to establish themselves, and stepping away now would allow Orton to help the business in a different way, perhaps as a mentor or trainer. Another consideration is the emotional and personal toll that wrestling takes on a performer. Traveling on the road for most of the year means missing out on important family moments. Orton, who has children, has spoken about the difficulties of balancing his career and personal life. Retirement would allow him to spend more quality time with his family without the physical toll and constant travel schedule. Many retired superstars have spoken about how much they regret missing out on family milestones due to their careers. Orton has the chance to avoid that regret and enjoy life outside the ring while still young enough to do so. From a storytelling perspective, the perfect retirement scenario doesn't come around often. Many legends have either overstayed their welcome, leading to lackluster final runs, or have had their careers abruptly ended due to injury. Orton has the opportunity to exit on his own terms, crafting a retirement that is fitting for his legacy. Instead of waiting until his body forces him out, He can plan a final storyline that gives closure to his career. Whether it's one last WrestleMania match, a farewell tour, or an emotional moment on Raw or SmackDown, he has the chance to leave on a high note rather than fading into irrelevance or suffering a career-ending injury. Another argument for retirement is financial stability. Unlike many wrestlers of past generations, Orton has been fortunate to be part of an era where WWE superstars are well compensated. He has earned millions throughout his career, including from merchandise sales, main event paydays, and long-term contracts. He does not need to continue wrestling for financial reasons. Some wrestlers keep going because they have no choice, but Orton has the luxury of stepping away comfortably. With smart financial management, he can enjoy a fulfilling life post-wrestling without the need to risk his body further. The timing for retirement also matters from a fan perspective. Fans often appreciate when a wrestler retires while still beloved and respected, rather than waiting too long and becoming a parody of their former self. While Orton is still a main event caliber performer, stepping away now would leave fans wanting more rather than feeling like he's overstayed his welcome. Retirement at the right time allows for a proper send-off that celebrates his contributions, without the fatigue that sometimes accompanies prolonged careers.